Hey, what's up? We are All Time Low, and we are incredibly green.
You are a handful of roses, thorns in a cheap bouquet.
Hi guys, Candice here with Alex Gaskarth and Jack Bearcat from All Time Low. How are you guys doing today?
Your name's right. That's no one ever does that.
Yeah, of course. I did my homework. All right, so Alex, you're first. Who do you think is the most environmentally friendly member of the band?
I would say me, probably.
Do you agree with that, Jack?
With the amount of hairspray we use, probably not. Maybe Ryan?
How dare you?
Yeah, we'll go with
I recycle.
yeah.
It's me. The answer's me.
Do you guys ever help remind each other to stay green by turning off the lights or recycling or bringing a reusable bag to the grocery store?
I'm always on that, but the thing is I don't live in my house like my friends do. So I'm always like, turn the lights off, and they're like, yeah, okay. I can't really, never home.
It's tough. Yeah, it's tough for bands because, you know, we are pretty much on a tour bus, which is one of the worst things you can possibly travel in. And it's just it's difficult to you know, stay, you know, maintain a green mentality when you're on tour. But you know, it's the small things I think that make a bit of a difference, and just kind of being conscious of those things that you're doing.
As long as you're thinking about it.
Yeah, because it's sort of a start, you know, and it's things like, you know, trying to recycle as much as possible. And one of the big ones is using reusable containers for like water and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think that's something that like a lot of bands can focus on, which is cool.
The easy things.
Yeah.
How do you think an incredibly green school program could make a difference in a school?
I think it could make a huge difference. I mean, you know, school, you have to go. So
Unfortunately.
it's a great way to kind of get people educated on the matter first and foremost. But then, like, above that, I think, you know, it's something where you're reaching a lot of people at once, you know, and to make it a program, to kind of almost make it a requirement in a way, would really cut back on possibly the school's sort of, you know, carbon footprint, I guess.
Kind of like requiring it like gym.
I know like a lot of schools we went to, they kept the lights on at night, like all the time.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, I feel like, you know, it's similar to how businesses are also trying to figure out ways to become more efficient. You know, I think schools, being that it's usually big campuses, facilities, you know, and there's so many things happening at once, they could definitely find ways to become more efficient.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think a program would definitely benefit.
Great. Jack, what would you say is our most or our biggest environmental concern at the moment? Put you on the spot.
Yeah.
Woo!
You know, I think it's natural resources, like lack thereof rather, and like what we're gonna do next.
Alex, do you think there's something that we could do about that, or do you think we're just kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place?
Unfortunately, I do sort of think we're stuck because it's really up to a lot of the big businesses to figure it out, and to make that change. It's happening, which is good. You know, I think within the next 10 to 20 years it's going to have to happen. So, you know, I think right now, yeah, I agree. Like, it's the sort of the limited resources that we have left, and sort of the mass consumption of those resources that is causing the biggest issues. But you know, like, to scale it back a little bit, you know, I think the big issues beyond that, and the ones that are more manageable and easier to deal with on a day-to-day basis, are things like community-related issues, like just the amount of waste coming from each local community and things like that. You know, using local produce and things like that can really help, and just sort of taking a more community standpoint on the whole issue.
So you know so much about this stuff.
He does. I'm impressed.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Something I didn't even think about.
it makes you think, at least.
It's important. It's important for our Earth. For the Earth. Yeah.
I don't even know what to say. Upon the release of your new album, Dirty Work, do you think more people chose to buy the plastic version of the CD or buy it digitally through iTunes or online?
I know for a fact that the majority of our sales are digital, which is
That's fabulous.
Yeah, it's really
a
rad.
higher average of digital sales than most bands do.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Because our fans are
Awesome.
green.
Incredibly green.
No, I think it really does help though. Like, I think you know, the age of the CD and whatnot is kind of over. I think to do away with those things, you know, would really benefit a lot of people. Obviously, it would really affect the industry, you know, because a big part of this industry is trying to cling on to relics of the past rather than just move forward. But it's one of those things where it's definitely swaying more digital, which is awesome because it from a eco standpoint, it really helps.
One way to change that is also add bonus tracks, like iTunes bonus tracks, so people prefer to buy it on.
Yeah, you sway
Plus, I mean,
digital.
it's just easier to just like go on your phone and download.
Exactly.
It's the future, people.
Yeah. Well, my next question was going to be, do you think eventually the music industry will require people to buy digital? And you kind of answered that, but
I think so. Yeah. I mean, 50 years from now, I can't imagine that. They'll still be around, but I can't imagine that the economy will still run, like the music industry will still run on physical copies.
Like tapes, like, you know what I mean? It's almost like...
They'll get phased out. It's just becoming so much more convenient, as well as more efficient to be able to just press a button on your phone and have a record that you want. You know, I think that in itself is gonna just sway everything that way.
All right, well, yeah, very good. Well, talking about your merchandise, I know a lot of bands right now, like Jack Johnson, they're offering eco-friendly merchandise like organic t-shirts and biodegradable paper for their handouts and such. Would you consider doing that in the future, maybe?
Yeah, I think that's something that we haven't looked into a whole lot.
A couple American Apparel, they make like eco-friendly shirts. We have a couple.
Yeah, we've definitely done some organic shirts and things like that, but no, we've never. I don't think we've ever looked into like the paper or anything like that. But it's a really good point that you make.
Well, great. And the last question I have for you guys. A lot of our fans wanted to know, how do you stay green while being on a bus and on tour?
It's tough. We kind of touched on that already. It is difficult, you know, because it's like this thing runs on just heaps of gasoline, which is terrible. But like I said, it's the little things. You know, the reusable water bottles. You know,
maybe you and Jack shower together.
We do. We conserve water.
We could run our bus on
biodiesel?
No, what is the stuff that
vegetable oil?
Vegetable oil, so they can smell like McDonald's on here.
That would be delicious.
That's disgusting.
That'd be delicious. We just smell like French fries every day. Like McDonald's fry cooks.
I don't know, maybe people would stay away from your bus a little more.
It's hard to get in quantities I think that could run a bus, but they do make biodiesel buses now, which
I bet they're really expensive. Do you know?
As far as renting them, I don't think so. I mean, it might be more expensive to pay for the gas, to fill them up. But they do make them. I know Warped Tour uses a lot of alternative fuel buses, which is cool. But like I said, the little things, you know, trying to recycle when you can, reusable bottles, like plates, cups, things like that are all environmentally friendly. Like, you know, try not to just get the standard plastic forks and knives, get the ones that are made out of corn, whatever, and they break down a lot easier and stuff like that.
Well, thank you. Thank you guys so much for your time, Alex and Jack, everybody.